this morning, the Duluth East track and cross-country team hosted the inaugural Running with the Hounds 5K, and the course was a bit different from your usual 3.1-mile race. Runners of all ages gathered at the Snowflake Nordic Ski Center, traversed the hills and terrain of the usual ski and snowmobile trails, just without the snow. All the proceeds from the event go directly to support the Greyhounds boys and girls cross-country teams. Community members, Duluth East alumni, and current student athletes joined in on the fun, with junior Will Johnson crossing the finish line first with a time of 17 minutes and 31 seconds.
I completely surprised myself. I wasn't really sure what amount of efforts were going to be put in by everyone, because I know it's casual, but I did not think I was going to win. You know, it's really just the community. It's such a big team, and we're so well knit. And like our runs and the stuff that we do at practices is just, it really helps bond us. Same with the meets. Like it feels definitely a lot different than other things that I do in my life.
Oh gosh, the kids are just awesome. They're just the best kids to work with. They're positive. They cheer each other on. You know, cross country is a team sport, and those kids embody that whole principle of team first, and it's just great to work with them.
And Stella Powell, who is also a student athlete at Duluth East, took first place in the girls division with a time of 19 minutes and 51 seconds. The winners of each division, boys, girls, and family teams, all received pies as the big reward. Lots of action on the base.